Hi guys, I'm Pencil Pies, and today we'll be learning how to draw hair. Now I got the idea for this video from a comment on a post on my Once Amino, so Astraya, maybe hair won't be the devil anymore. Since the comment was on my Once Amino, I thought it would only be fitting if I did this tutorial with a picture of a Twice member, so I'm using my bias Dahyun. Side note, if you're going to be drawing in black and white, use a black and white picture, so I will be looking at this photo instead of the color one when I'm drawing. Now, I don't use any fancy 6B or 4B graphite pencils. I just use your nice old HB2 mechanical pencil, I don't know, 0.6mm lead. That's just what I like drawing with, and draw whatever you're comfortable with. This is just what I'm using for this tutorial. I'm also just drawing a normal printer paper. I think it's A4 paper. No, that's the size. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. And if this voiceover is a mess, I know. I know. This is the first time I'm doing a voiceover this long, or at all. Is this the first time I'm doing a voiceover on something? I think so. Wow. Anyway, so the easy answer when someone asks you how to draw hair would be to just draw what you see, but anyone could tell you that, and that's not what you're here for. You're here for actual advice. So what you're doing, you're just drawing the shape of the locks of hair, because when you look at hair, it's not individual strands that you typically see. You see the chunks of hair because hair naturally clumps together. Like, look at your own hair. If you have long hair that happens to clump together, hair naturally falls into clumps. It clumps together, and it rarely, I don't even think ever, does it just split out into individual strands. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just copying the different locks of hair. I'm adding in kind of the shoulders just so I'm like I know what the hair's falling on. And it's also something good to mention too. You want to always keep in mind the texture and the weight of the hair that you're drawing, so just so you can see how it would fall on the shoulders and the head. So like, it's not going to be plastered to the face, because that's not what hair does. Hair has volume typically, and you also just want, and this helps with how light hits the hair as well. So as you can see here, I'm adding in some of the darkest low lights, I guess you could say, as just like the darkest shades of that you can see, I guess, in the photograph. I know I'm talking about, but it's not coming out right. Just a second. So the darkest parts of the hair that I noticed were the ones right by the face, that kind of lines the face, and where the hair was tucked in, and right below the chin as well. You'll see me do that. But then later on, you'll see there's a big section on the right side of the page that I forgot to do. Then I'll fill that in, and you'll see, like, you'll notice that. So I'm just filling in the darkest sections of the hair. It's always good to kind of establish what's the lightest and the darkest parts of the drawing first, so that everything else can be in between. So you can see here I'm filling in the midtones, which is everything between white and black. So it's all the grays in between. And the lightest parts of the hair that I noticed was on the left side of the page or the right side of the face. That looks like where the light may be coming from, or maybe, actually I think this picture is more backlit than anything, because it's either backlit or, I don't know, but the light is not coming from the left or the right, I don't think, because the left side of the page and the right side of the page, you see the two lightest shades on those sides. So that's why I think it's more backlit than anything. So you don't want to use heavy dark lines when drawing hair. You want to kind of shade a line in, I guess, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but I'm going to try to explain it anyway. So like, you don't want to take like a Sharpie and just draw a solid line along like the side of the lock of hair, because that's not realistic. You want everything to kind of blend into each other, but then also be its own thing, you know? I hope I'm making sense. This is a mess. We're on a train and the train is a train wreck. So right now I'm just doing the part where the hair kind of rolls over on top of itself. You know, like I'm talking about the left side of the part in this case. You know that part where it kind of like rolls up on itself. I think that's kind of a trickier part to do because there's a lot of like folding and laying on top of itself kind of stuff going on there. I'm trying my hardest to make any of this make sense, and I don't think a single word I'm saying is making sense, but maybe you're just enjoying listening to the sound that's coming out of my mouth. I don't know. So I'm just filling in some more stuff behind the ear, down by the neck, because that's also an extremely dark place. That this is a darker place in the hair. Here's the section I was telling you about that I completely forgot to fill in. It's just that little like triangular looking thing that I was just starting to do. And there's more like folding and like bunching action right there that I'm filling in. And you saw there that I just completely filled in the whole field of there with a lighter gray, and that's because I think I was getting impatient, I think, with the process, and like that's completely okay. Just fill in the whole field of gray, and then you can add the details later. That's totally fine, and that's what I do a lot of the time, honestly. So right now I'm just carving, I guess you could say I'm just carving it out of the paper, because you're just working away at it until you get something that resembles what you want it to resemble. And I want it to resemble hair. You may want it to resemble, I don't know, a cactus, but I want it to resemble hair. Just some of the more detailed shading is going in. And also, I know I was just filling in horizontally there, but you really want to make sure the strokes of your pencil follow along with the, I guess, strands of hair and like the movement of the hair, because if you have like these odd, like you don't want these random strokes going in all these directions, because that won't make it look as good. The stroke of your pencil when drawing hair is very important, because you're like with the direction of these strokes of your pencil, you're implying that there is hair there. That's all that drawing is. You're just implying that there's something there. Like when you look at a drawing and you say, oh, that's a person. That's not a person you're looking at. That's just some cleverly placed graphite and ink. Like it's not a real person. It's just a drawing. But drawing is basically deception, and you're trying to deceive your audience into thinking that there's something there. So right now we're playing a trick on the eyes, and we're making hair, because hair apparently is a devil nut. Also, you'll see my ring finger and middle finger on my left hand are kind of they have tape on them. Don't worry about that. I've been having problems with them, and they're problematic, honestly. That's all I can say about that. So I'm just filling in some of the more detailed shadows. I'm leaving that section on the right side of the page pretty light, because again, as I said, the back is probably backlit, or it's front. No, it's probably backlit because there's dark sections in front. I don't know what I'm saying. So I'm filling that in. The darker sections of the hair are most likely the sections of the hair that are underneath the top layer. So that big triangular looking section to the bottom of the page, that hair is under the lighter hair, and that's why it's so much darker. So I'm just filling that in darker right now, adding some more of the detailed shadows. I'm just doing that with all of it, and I'm adding little lines all over it to look like little strands. Maybe they're the flyaways. But yeah, you want to add a couple here and there, so like if someone focuses on it, they can see, oh yeah, that's a strand of hair. Because I don't know, I think it looks better, I think, if you add a couple strands here and there instead of it just being a field of gray with like a slightly darker shadow, you know? You want to draw a couple strands, but not all of the strands. If that makes any sense at all. It probably doesn't, but like I'm trying my very best. Look at that camera go in and out of focus. Wow, that is talent. So I'm just making it a little more defined. Just making sure you can tell the differentiate. You can tell the strands of hair between each other. You know, okay, trust me, I speak English. I most of the time. So I'm just filling it in. Oh, look at that hand go. Look at that pencil go. It's just like, woo. You go, pencil. You go, pencil pies. Okay. So, I think, yeah, you'll see that I'm just kind of like lining the face a little bit. I just like a more defined face because it's just kind of creeping me out. It looks like a floating face right now. So we're just adding the finishing touches, maybe a little bit of hair, little hairs are laying on the forehead. Just going around, just touching it up. I'm putting in the shoulders a little darker so it kind of fits in more. And we're done. Look at that. So I hope this was some degree of helpful for you. I know when I started drawing hair, it was a complete mess. So I hope you have a little more luck when you start out with the hair. Please like and subscribe and even leave a comment. You know, I like hearing from you guys. Talk about anything really, but please be nice. Okay, bye.